iPhone 12, the doors have been blown off. What a bunch of leaks we have just got. And let's start with the first screenshot leaks we've got from Jon Prosser. Now, he says these are from what's called a PVT model of the iPhone 12 Pro Max with a screen size of 6.7 inches. PVT standing for Production Validation Test. And that is essentially a prototype, a test model. And that tells us a lot of things. Firstly, that these aren't retail units, and a lot of prototypes are made by various manufacturers to test out different specs, different hardware, but not all of those specs in the test and prototype models actually make it to the final retail units. So definitely best to keep that in mind as we go through all of these leaks. So firstly, the PVT model from Jon Prosser, 6.7 inch screen. That matches up with other leaks we've heard about the iPhone 12 Pro Max getting that screen size. Before we get into that, today's deals, iPad mini is now discounted on Amazon, and so are Mophie juice packs. If you do have an iPhone, go and check those out. They give you extra battery life. As always, all the links will be in the description below. So 120 Hz ProMotion, as Apple will probably call it on the iPhone when it does come. As you can see, there is an option to enable high refresh rates, but importantly also look at the small print below. Please check if your PVT model supports high refresh rates, and also attempting to enable high refresh rates on unsupported hardware may provoke unexpected behavior. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that there are different versions of these prototypes going around, some supporting high refresh rates, some not. And that just means that Apple are working on this and testing it, which we've known for a really long time now. Ice Universe even telling us that a lot of those 120 Hz high refresh rate panels were tested by Apple and passed all of that testing. As we got closer to the launch, a lot of other leaks about hardware telling us that Apple can't put this in the retail units because of some production issues. So as for right now, all this tells us is that Apple made some prototypes that had high refresh rates. Nothing too different that we didn't know already. There is also an option underneath for adaptive refresh rates, and this would just mean that you let the iPhone essentially change between either 60 Hz or 120 Hz possibly in terms of when you're using the phone to try and save some battery life. This is different to the true adaptive refresh rates that will be available on LTPO displays that the iPhone definitely won't use this year. They are found on the Note 20 Ultra and the Z Fold 2. They can be changed from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. Definitely a step up in technology. Not really ready for the big time yet in terms of production yields. So next year for those LTPO displays. But it just gives you an idea of the refresh rate options that may be available if high refresh rates are available this year in the iPhone. Also in Jon Prosser's leak, enhanced night mode, and underneath it says that the iPhone would have to be placed on a tripod for this. So this would be just an ultra long exposure that you could only take when put on a tripod or stabilized. It's unclear whether this is just a software feature or maybe used with some different hardware that's going into the iPhone 12. We heard other rumors about Apple possibly using sensor shift stabilization on the ultra-wide camera, which does have some advantages. For example, you can increase the resolution of images by taking more and moving the sensor around. It's pretty complicated. It does work in DSLRs. It may work in a smartphone. Just a rumor for now though. So we don't know whether this is just a software option or could work in conjunction with some new hardware as well. There is also reference to Lidar, and as we know, that has been rumored for a while into the iPhone 12. So Lidar, a depth sensing technology, it essentially shoots out a beam of light and then measures how long it takes to come back. This really won't enhance imaging too much, to be honest. Maybe some depth effects with this, but really it's for AR applications. The rumors about 240 frames per second 4K video also confirmed by this prototype having it. This is one that you could assume is coming to the retail unit. If the processor is capable of doing this, then there isn't much reason as to why Apple wouldn't include it. And certainly Apple do focus on video in terms of specs and quality. So I would expect 240 frames a second 4K if it's available. Maybe Apple will give it to us this year. Of course, all these features may not come to the iPhone 12 and especially 120 Hz because of what we've been hearing with hardware issues in the iPhone 12. But this being the Pro Max, obviously this is going to get all of the features like LiDAR and 120 Hz on the prototype models. There's also something called advanced noise reduction. This could be simply a software technique to reduce noise in photos. Also bit depth video, which could be a reference to 10-bit video recording, which would just increase the colors that you can shoot when recording video. So that should make everything look a bit better overall. And also zoom capabilities. Again, this could be a software feature that maybe adds extra zoom range to the camera over and above the optical zoom. Again, this may just be for the prototype unit, so Apple can get a lot of data to then feed back to their developers. So firstly, yeah, this is just a prototype. And secondly, there are some inconsistencies in a few of the leaks that we've seen. Firstly, the Hertz after 120 doesn't have a capital H, and it should. Secondly, the word capabilities is just wrong. It's misspelled. There's no I in there. So again, a very cool leak, but always take these with a pinch of salt. Then on top of that, we get some extra leaks from Everything Apple Pro in association with Max Weinbach, posted on Twitter at the same time. This one is different though. Again, a PVT unit, a prototype unit, but it physically looks completely different to the one posted by John Prosser. The bezels are huge, so this actually looks way more like just an iPhone 11. Big bezels and thick, definitely no design changes, so it could be a completely different prototype than the one John Prosser is telling us he has seen. Again, not really confirming or denying the validity of these leaks. Also confirming a 6.7-inch display for the iPhone 12 Pro Max with a resolution of 2788 by 1284, and that is a pixels per inch of 458. Continuing on with Apple's kind of non-standardized resolutions, not really a big deal, but it is what we would call full HD. If you're looking at other phones for reference, most full HD Android phones coming in at a resolution of 2340 by 1080, so it's there or thereabouts. Definitely not something that we would call Quad HD or 2K these days, basically a full HD screen. Also some extra stuff from these leaks. Apparently the camera array on the back is 10% larger. This actually also matches with some other leaks that we've got from China. They showed some iPhone 12 cases put on top of an iPhone 11, and you could definitely see a difference in the camera sizes. Also in Apple news, we get this Bloomberg report telling us that Apple is working on AirPower, and not the AirPower that we thought was coming, but I guess a less ambitious AirPower. This Bloomberg report also matches up with a report we got earlier from Ming-Chi Kuo saying Apple are trying to give us basically a wireless charging mat. So this will be coming at some point and is confirmed by the big boys, so we can probably expect this in the near future. But anyway, that's your Apple news for today. Let me know what you think of all of these leaks. What is coming? What won't be coming? What do you hope is coming in the iPhone 12? Super exciting now, and it's just going to get more and more towards the launch. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.